Hello, Dr. Cinema here. So, this weekend saw the release of a new Matthew McConaughey film, The Beach Bum. Most of you probably didn't even know this movie was coming out, which is fair enough, didn't really get that much advertisement to begin with. But it's out, and it includes Matthew McConaughey, Snoop Dogg, Isla Fisher, Jonah Hill, Zac Efron, Jimmy Buffett, and it focuses on a beach bum known as Moondog, played by McConaughey, and his life. I mean, this film has a premise, stuff happens that are set in motion, but there's really not much of a story. It just really follows the character around as he interacts with other characters, both similar and different. And it's a film that honestly isn't getting that much attention and has gained mainly mixed reviews, some negative, a few positives, but I have to ask the question, is there something secretly brilliant at work? Well, before we do that, we have to discover if there's any hidden meaning at all in this film. And the best way to do that is look at the director. Director of The Beach Bum, yes, I am looking this on my phone, is Harmony Korine? Korine. Harmony Korine. Just call him Harmony, that's his first name. He is the film director that most mainstream audiences will know as the director of the 2013 film Spring Breakers. But for other people that are more into the film world, he's also the director of films including Gummo and Julian Donkey Boy and his 2009 film Trash Humpers when it premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival won the Docs Award, the main award that can be won at that festival. So obviously, while mainstream audiences aren't generally excited to see a film from this guy, a lot of more like a lot of film critics seem to be really positive about the and accepting of the kind of movies he makes, and doesn't really make a whole lot of films either. So, let's take a look at what he generally has to say about his own films now. First of all, generally, he doesn't even really try to write messages into his films because he finds it belittling to the audience. And he wants to retain a margin of the undefined. He wants his films to be sort of abstract and not really have a specific message in mind that it's trying to get across. And considering today that there are a lot of films that are trying to hammer in specific messages, a lot of them tend to be political and such. So, in some respect, that is a welcome change from most movies that are currently out there. Now, of course, having your films be more abstract, people are going to read their own meanings into his films anyway. And in response to that, he says, I think people will lose the film as soon as they start trying to figure out my logic or what I'm doing or while they're watching it start to dissect metaphors. I'm not really so interested in it working on a purely cerebral level. I'm much more concerned with it on the emotional level and that you leave feeling a certain way. And this is a guy that also, in addition to how he approaches characters and story, that really focuses on setting an image in the film. To him, the most beautiful image of the American landscape is an abandoned parking lot with a stained, dirty couch on the edge of it with a broken lamp next to it. He thinks that is probably the most beautiful thing in the world to him. And to be fair, there is a certain strange beauty to it. That's just from my own personal perspective, but there is sort of beauty in the unconventional scenery. And he says that if people leave his films with even one image from the film stuck in their head, then the film can be considered a success. And when some people criticize his films, such as Spring Breakers, for being exploitive and self indulgent, he responds with, how can artists be expected not to be self indulgent? That's the whole thing that's wrong with filmmaking today. To me, it's art is one man's voice, one idea, one point of view coming from one person. And that he's always hoping that there is a certain audience that would grab onto any of his films and enjoy it for what it is. And in addition to that, he does say that the only films that matter are the auteuristic works, meaning that films that are completely under the control or direction of the director and not really the producers or the studio. So, really, this is a certain director that has a certain complexity to him in a certain aspect. Because what he says about filmmaking in his films specifically, there is some layers to it. Films that, while maybe not traditionally seen as being entertaining or being meaningful or important, there is importance, beauty, and relevance to it. And we have seen a lot of other films from different directors that have proved that. Of course, you also have to create characters that are still likable and have a role in the film. Of course, there are specific cases where the point of a character is that it's either not relevant or that the character is supposed to be pretty hated or disliked. And so when it comes to this kind of director, it can be a little hard to read exactly what the whole point is. Which is difficult seeing as how he says he doesn't really try to put in any hidden messages or points in the film. But I'm going to try just a little bit for The Beach Bum. It focuses on Moondog, like I said, a beach bum in the Florida Keys, comes back up to the mainland, Florida. He suffers the loss of a loved one. The kind of life that he had prior to the passing of his loved one is no longer accessible to him, and he soon finds himself running away from the law as well. So, but while even though all that's happening, he's smiling, laughing, having a good time because to him, having fun is what's important to him. And now, having said that, there are obviously some similarities between The Beach Bum and The Big Lebowski in terms of what the main character values in life, how he is presented, and how he reacts with people in certain situations. Granted, The Big Lebowski has more reactions to his current predicament than The Beach Bum, but the movie The Beach Bum is meant to be having fun with not just the audience, but with itself. Because you really don't really get to see the consequences of many of the Beach Bum's decisions or actions in the film. And again, that's kind of the point. The point is for the film to have fun with itself, to have fun with the audience, make it laugh, and make sure everyone has fun while watching. The people in the movie certainly are having fun making the film. So it's really about, even though everything may be crumbling around you, if you keep a positive attitude and you keep doing the things that you can control and that you know you can do well, everything will be alright, alright, alright. Hey, you knew I had to work in there. So in that sense, is The Beach Bum secretly brilliant? Well, even having said what I just said, I wouldn't necessarily say it's brilliant. Because we have seen a lot of other movies that have had the same or similar messages, and can be argued have done it a lot better and more effectively. But, again, this is not a film that is meant to really be a film that has a certain hidden message and point, which makes sense considering that the director isn't really known for making hidden messages or points. It's a film meant to be more of the abstract and to be more fun. If you want to read something more into this, that's completely fine. But while the Beach Bum may not be secretly brilliant, I still enjoyed it. I laughed, and most of the characters I genuinely liked. Not really enough to get like emotionally attached to them as say Hugh Jackman performing Wolverine in the film Logan, but likable characters. Events happen, maybe not like a story, but it's a film that you can certainly just watch for 95 minutes and just relax, laugh, and just enjoy the ride. So that's really all I have to say for this film. And now that I brought out The Big Lebowski, I could see myself doing a face-off video with these two movies. But I think I would have to play it safe and go back and rewatch The Big Lebowski. But that's all I have to say for right now. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys next time.